January 2026. After receiving a series of threatening messages through WhatsApp platform, and during the arrest of the respondent, three mobile phones with 3 pairs of SIM cards in those phones were recovered from him. Which are yet to be analyzed by the cybercrime department. And he was found with 23 SIM card holders, various IMEI numbers as listed in paragraph 10 of the application that need to be verified. He was also found with 10 Airtel 5G SIM cards, 5G SIM cards that are yet to be analyzed as highlighted in paragraph 11 of the application. He was also found with 2 debit cards, one from Equity Bank and another from Family Bank. Which also need to be investigated, Joanna. And especially the activities of the accounts registered on those debit cards. So now during the arrest, the respondent was driving motor vehicle registration number KBJ 79Q, make Nissan Prey Praire, Praire, beige in color. Praire. This one and the reason why to say days are set to have the respondent in custody. And that one, he said that he lives in that motor vehicle that was recovered. And therefore has no non-fixed place of abode. And as such, is considered a flight risk under section 36A of the Criminal Procedure Code. The applicant seeks to obtain.
Sorry?
The applicant seeks to obtain bank and mobile money account statements verify various informations that have been received so far. The applicant is also still pursuing other persons of interest. May be involved together with the respondent in the commission of the offences being investigated. The applicant is apprehensive. That there's a high likelihood that the respondent will interfere with ongoing investigations. Having noted that he is highly skilled on matters of information technology, further that may interfere with potential witnesses. Who are yet to record their statements on the applicant will also seek to ascertain the ownership of the motor vehicle, which the respondent was arrested while driving, and which is currently in the custody of the applicant. With those grounds and those contained in the supporting affidavit of George Ndumo, Inspector George Ndumo, we pray that you may grant orders as spoken. That's all.
There are 21 grounds on which the prosecution would like to rely on so that I can be detained to the Baker police station. And I would like to go on record that, Your Honor, that we are heading into a very bad direction as a country, basing on the fact that if the said complainant, member of the Senator, Honorable Lemaletian, who is a nominated senator in Samburu, when you have a different or a contrary opinion with what they believe, they will actually accuse you of threats and intimidation. However, Your Honor, point 1 says that the applicant is undertaking investigations into an alleged case of threatening to kill and attempts of extortion. 2, we are told the complainant is Lemaletian.
Just a moment.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have the document here.
Okay.
The prosecutor has gone through it. You have heard all that she has said.
Yes, sir.
You will confirm you have read the document.
Yes, sir, I've read it.
Will add no value if you go reading it again. So yours should be response to that application.
Yes, I want to respond to it, Your Honor. I was just...
so please proceed with your response.
Okay, Your Honor. So, Your Honor, I would like to respond to these allegations because they are based on hearsay. When you check on point number 8, point number 6, that in the course of investigating this matter, it has come to light that the information held by the respondent, who is me, that I have crucial evidence that will lead to the eventual prosecution of the perpetrators, which means, Your Honor, I am not the perpetrator, and therefore they cannot allege that I should be detained because I don't see any perpetrator here. I am the only respondent in this particular matter. And therefore, when they say that I have not fixed abode, I live in a vehicle, that is point 18, that the suspect said he lives in a vehicle. They are saying that I said I live in a vehicle, and that is a point which they are basing the fact that I should be detained, that I am a flight risk and I should be detained for a period of 7 days. Your Honor, I shall go on record that I am a family man. I live in Buruburu. I have 2 young kids who's already busy. I live in Buruburu and I am a family man with 2 kids. It only depends on me, Your Honor. And therefore, Your Honor, holding me further for 7 days because I've been in custody since last Friday will be a breach on my rights, Your Honor. Your Honor, just to conclude, Your Honor, when you check their point number 12, they say that during the arrest, the respondent was found with 2 debit cards. One is under Alex Kikuyu, and that's my card. And 2, which is a Family Bank a gold debit card, Alex Anyolo, which is also my card, Your Honor. Therefore, that cannot be a ground on which the prosecution will base for me to be detained, Your Honor. Further, Your Honor, when you see at when you check point 13, point 13, when you consolidate it with point 17, they say that number 17, that the motor vehicle registration numbers are yet to be confirmed and the records of registration to be ascertained. And yet at point 13, they are saying that he was driving a motor vehicle of registration KBJ 795Q. They want to investigate a motor vehicle that is already known, and they have all the requisite instruments to know who is the owner of that car, and that's my car, Your Honor. And currently it's being held at the DCI headquarters. So I'm being held, and the car is also being held, Your Honor. Therefore, Your Honor, I have never traveled outside this country, and therefore I cannot pose to be a flight risk, Your Honor. Finally, Your Honor, the Senator should know that I have no interest in Samburu, and I am not willing to be associated with any Samburu politics. I only have interest in my home county, Kakamega. That's, Your Honor. That's all, Your Honor. And I would request, Your Honor, that you release me on a favorable cash bail, because they have all my details. And 7 days is a long time, Your Honor, because I've been in custody since Friday last week, and my family is really suffering. Thank you, Your Honor.
Paragraphs that are highlighted by the prosecution, including the fact that the respondent was found in possession of several SIM card holders, paragraph 10. Airtel SIM cards, paragraph 11. And the likelihood of respondents interfering with investigations and potential witnesses, paragraph 20. And none of those have been challenged. Your Honor, the information that the respondent lives in the named motor vehicle was obtained from the respondent himself, and that is what made the applicant conclude that he's a terrorist. He now alleges that he's a family man who lives in Uzalendo. However, he has not presented any evidence to back that up. Therefore, still maintain that the applicant is a flight risk. Which is a compelling reason to persuade this court to grant custodial orders as prayed pending conclusion of investigations. That's all. Investigation seeks to establish copy of records and ownership of the same.
Copy of records and ownership the excellent days.
I do not live in a car. I'm not a bird living in a car. Therefore, you cannot purport that I live in a car. Yes. I'm a small man.
One by number 241291, Inspector George Luo on the same date, and consider the same alongside the submissions made by the prosecution counsel and the respondent. From the amendments contained in the said affidavit, which are also on the grounds on the body of the said notice of motion dated 9th of February 2026, all items found in possession of the respondent and which need to be investigated to establish his criminal culpability or otherwise are in the custody of the investigating officer. His presence will therefore not add anything the cybercrime forensic analysis of the items recovered. Ownership of a motor vehicle can be established without necessarily having the respondent in police custody. The alleged offense being investigated from the body of the application is a cyber-enabled crime, and the items allegedly involved in the offense, in the alleged offense, are already in the custody of the investigators. Hence, in my view, there is no established likelihood of the respondent interfering with ongoing investigations. The prosecution has submitted that the respondent is a flight risk. That has been disputed by the respondent. The main reason for believing that the respondent is a flight risk, as submitted by the prosecution counsel, is that the respondent at the point of his arrest told the police that he lives in his car. The record is silent on whether he was informed of his right to remain silent at the time of his arrest, and whether he was informed that any information he gives to the police will be used against him. There is no indication whether the investigating officer has taken any step to establish whether The respondent indeed has no place of abode as alleged. From a casual look, the respondent does not appear to be a homeless person living in a car. Was any household item found in the car to support the allegation that he lives in the car? I'm not convinced that there is any compelling reason to warrant continued detention of the respondent in police custody as such. The respondent is therefore granted bail of Kenya shillings 20,000 with one contact person, and the matter be mentioned on 16th of February this year.